hour number 2. We got Ray continuing his conversation with Josh Jenkins of Precision Plumbing, as well as Marianne Konopnicki, also of Precision Plumbing, and Bryce Owusu of HD Bros is going to jump in. They'll be talking more about their story, the businesses they represent, and the services that they offer. About Your House is brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. About Your House is also brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store. They've been serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience that they offer customers with a knowledgeable sales staff, product selection, and lowest price guarantee. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
And spreading love all over the place. Yeah, we're on About Your House today. Got Precision Plumbing in-house with Marianne Konopnicki, talent acquisition specialist, another word for workforce development director, but call it what you want. We're going to talk to her about the programs they offer. And we got Josh Jenkins, who's the marketing guy for Precision Plumbing. And he will not step out of the studio. He's going to step out and do some of his marketing chores with the camera during this hour. And like I say, Bryce will step in and we'll find out all about him. But right now, I want to focus on why Precision Plumbing's here. Well, I'm going to tell you briefly why. We're running out of plumbers. Just that simple. We're running out of plumbers. Plenty of tools, plenty of equipment, but no plumbers. So you helped develop an apprenticeship program. Can you tell us more? All right, you stepped into your role at Precision Plumbing of talent acquisition specialist. New career pathway for you.
Yep.
And how did it go from there?
So when I was first presented the idea from the recruiter who reached out to me about this recruiting position, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, do I want to interview people all day long, search for people on the internet to see if they have the right, qualifications? And from there, I was thinking about, young people. That's always been my mindset for, my whole career, thinking of in terms of like making a difference for the next generation.
So that's why you were a teacher.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where it was.
So when I thought about it in that mindset, in addition to, recruiting and finding new people for the workforce in general, I said in my interview that it should be a priority that we should be training the next generation of plumbers. And that was met with, full support. And Justin and Connie, Justin, our president, and Connie, our HR director, being really excited to bring someone on like me to take that on and start that. Now, not to say that they hadn't already started some things on their own, but there wasn't a designated person to kind of lead that up full time prior to me being there. We were doing online classes with PHCC prior to starting our
so you were working with PHCC?
Program. We were.
They need to be more active in the industry. Golly, they don't communicate with us, and there's so much potential there, But anyway, carry on.
I think most plumbing contractors who have an apprenticeship program are doing the online program with PHCC because that's what we were doing prior to. So the reason I even, got the concept of how do you even start an in-person apprenticeship program, I was actually at a event on a Saturday event with Put Tools in Schools. I think that was the first event I've ever attended. And I met Kevin Tice with Star Electric.
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
And we started having a conversation about apprenticeship programs and if they had one. So from there, myself and Connie actually went to their office and had a conversation about how do you run your apprenticeship program? What curriculum are you using? What are the government stipulations that are put on you guys to run something like this? And they just gave us everything we needed to know to start a program because they wanted us to start it because they see a need in the industry, specifically, I would say, for plumbing in general.
The reason they started an apprenticeship program is because there's not any education in plumbing. CPCC doesn't have a good course in plumbing now because they can't find an instructor, from what I understand. And that's been a problem at every educational school, institution that we've talked to, how do you find the instructors?
Yeah.
This is like, it's hard enough to find plumbers. Now you're talking about instructors. And this is a big factor in our industry right now. Where are we going to find the plumbers, the plumbing instructors, as well as the carpentry instructors? I mean, the toolbox here, we're going to be looking for carpentry instructors, HVAC teachers, electrical. I mean, you name it. We want people who are specialists and understand the industry and the tools associated with it. But so y'all didn't have an in-house apprenticeship program.
We did not prior to me looking into things and getting things started. We are using the NCCER curriculum. So the instructors that we put into the program went through their short training course that went into it. But it was basically my job in the first year to evaluate those instructors to see if there was potentially one from the group who could take it on full time.
Right.
Which fortunately we did have someone in the group that was willing to do that and wanted to do that full time with Logan.
Right. So
Yep.
Logan's a full-time and your full-time
Yep,
employee that teaches your apprenticeship program.
Yep, teaches plans. Eventually we'll have 4 levels going at the same time. So when Connie and I were having conversations in our weekly one-on-ones, we talked about what do we need to prepare for the coming levels that are going to be coming down the pipeline, because it would be too much for me to manage all that and to do all the recruiting that we need to do on a daily basis. But I am still involved in the apprenticeship program, more so on checking in, making sure that Logan has support, and being the person in the office if he can't be there because he's somewhere else. But it's also been nice when we're doing outreach. He's also there with me as well to speak more on the plumbing portion of things, because I'm not a plumber. I'm just a big fan and supporter of plumbing.
But you're a great example of how women come into the industry and play a big, important role. You know, so you've done that, for example. You've attended a lot of trade career days and career days. Now, when I speak of that, you know, put tools in schools, one of our directions and missions are connecting students with the tools in the trades. And we can do that, but we go and participate in regular career days. And tell you went to Parkwood a couple weeks back. Tell us about Parkwood. Tell our listeners about Parkwood and the examples we're talking about. We were invited to attend their normal career day.
Yep. So with Put Tools in Schools, there's 2 different types of career days. There's a career day that's put on by the school, and that typically has colleges, military, and of course the trades.
Some corporate
if they're
America
invited.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you say. The trades, if they're invited.
Yep. Well, I think unless they have a connection to the school or someone within the school, they wouldn't be invited.
Right.
Unless, they had a connection with Put Tools in Schools.
But there's been a tremendous uptick in schools reaching out because of what we're doing here on About Your House radio program or podcast, and the fact that we're out there on social media. Tremendous exposure in social media since we started these podcasts, and it's made a big difference.
Yeah.
Schools are reaching out, but back to Parkwood.
Yeah.
You go into a gym and there might be 20 tables in that gym, if not more, or maybe.
I think it was more for this particular event, but
they do a great job getting colleges in that gym.
Oh, they do. And we just didn't have a ton of interest because there were so many other things that were catching their attention. And most of them think they're going to go to college, and so they go to those tables first, and they might come back and circle back with us.
Which exemplifies the problem and the image of the industry. You know, like I've said earlier in the show, in the 70s, they started taking all the tools away. Well, they made the trades less than. If you're not academically, I won't say gifted, but if you're not academically, geared, well, then you need to go to the trades. So there was a connotation with it that it's less than.
Yeah.
You can't make it in academics, so we'll put you in the trades. And that's what we're getting, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen it. And when you got a gym full of colleges, which is fine and dandy, but there are no trades there. But remember Northwest School of the Arts, the year that same thing, we went over there, the gym was full of colleges, and we lined one whole wall with trades. And we got a lot of attention.
We did.
We got tremendous attention from the kids. Females, men, male students, female students. I'll never forget this one little female that she was intrigued by all the tools. She could have cared less about those colleges, you know. And since you've been doing this, what is your overall take on the situation out there with our students?
It wasn't anything different than what I already knew, which is they don't know anything about apprenticeships, about construction in general, about the trades. So every conversation I have, if they come up to us, they either have somebody they know that works in the trades already, or they're with their friend who's with them. So there's a lot of stigma that goes along with what we do. And I would say specifically with our trade in general, with plumbing, the image of what we do is totally different than what Precision does. And I feel like Josh does a really good job of it, showing and taking pictures of what we're actually doing on a job site. So if someone looks up Precision, they can see what does a commercial plumber do as well. So we have an image problem in general, but also they just don't know anything about it.
For example, Bailey Middle School last week, I addressed around 400 students in the gym, had a microphone with PA system, so they heard, okay, you could hear. I got a big mouth, but we had a little bit of push on it last week. And I asked them the same questions. How many of you know what the trades are? 400 kids. 0. I asked them if you don't know what the trades are, they probably don't know what an apprenticeship is. Sure enough. How many of you know what an apprenticeship is? These are 8th graders going into the 9th grade high school years in next year. But ask them what an apprenticeship is, no clue. Don't have an idea. But yet, when I got to them one-on-one and asked them in groups, are you going to college? Sure, all of them are. But they don't know what for. Or they've been coached. They're going to be nurses, doctors, lawyers, biological experts or whatever. And unfortunately, these kids really don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
They've been coached. Look, call it good, call it bad, what you want, but it's not real. Like I said, 90% of the degreed students coming out of college do not apply that degree to the to their career pathway. And that's what we're finding this in high schools. And once again, 90% of these kids cannot read a tape measure. What else have you found out?
I mean, I think that one major thing, and this is something I didn't know until, I met my husband who works in the industry, is there are growth opportunities within construction and within the trades. And they have no clue about what that looks like in the field or in the office if they're moving up. So I spend time for the ones who are interested talking about what growth looks like within Precision.
Well, I know you've got several females working out in the field.
Yes.
And that was amazing. I've interviewed a few through the years, and they love what they do.
They do.
You got, what's the lady that runs gas pipe and air systems?
Oh, Becky.
She's still with you?
She is.
There's a lady that lives in an RV. She moves where the job is.
Yep.
And she tows her RV wherever she needs to set up home, and that's where she works from. So she loves what she does. She makes great money, great career. And once again, these are AI proof. These jobs are AI proof. Electrical, plumbing, HVAC, auto mechanic, diesel, the equipment you got on, equipment operators, CDL, truck drivers. All these career pathways are great career pathways, and not one of them will be affected with AI. Not one. Now, as a result of your due diligence and work, how many applications have you gone through so far as a result?
So my first year with Precision, we had some applications. I'd say it was like 150 when I first was interviewing apprentices. We had several internal referrals for that first group. And then the second group, we had over 500 applications over the course of the year. That was 2024, 2025, this group. And then between July, when I finished interviewing for that group, in October, we had over 325 applications. So we close that job until we start interviewing again. And when we get closer to the spring, just because there is so much interest in an apprenticeship program where you're paid to learn and you're already with a company.
Do you remember the numbers you told me about how many people are applying versus how many like we can take at a time for a class size?
Yeah,
because it was like a massive.
Yes. So it's only 10 that we're bringing on.
Yeah.
And then there are some people who already work for our company who want to get into the program too. So they automatically fill those slots.
But let me say this. They have an apprenticeship program. Explain what an apprenticeship program is.
So an apprenticeship program is an opportunity to learn in the classroom and also to have hands-on learning.
Out in the field, working, getting paid.
Yep.
A paycheck attached to learning.
Now,
Hands-on.
I will say that classroom learning too is also a mix of hands-on and book work and learning too. It's not fully you're doing book work the whole time when you come to class. The hope is between classes you'll get some of that practice done so you can do that hands-on experiential learning when you get to class.
Right. Gotcha. Josh, you've been to many career days. Can you got any takeaways from what you've seen?
I think it's a brand new thing that most kids don't get to see. When the trades come to a career day, the trades are not wrapped in bubble wrap like the rest of maybe these kids' education. They actually get to see tools that you probably hurt yourself on, but they get to see and learn about things that they haven't before. I mean, one of the exciting parts about when Precision goes to a career day is we have acetylene torches going and flames, and they're loud and hot, and most kids have never gotten to play with fire at school. Like, that's so much fun, right?
Right.
And like I said, it's not wrapped in bubble wrap, and all the rest of the education is. And so I think it's really exciting for students and very interactive. And I think once they realize why we're there and what the trades are and what an apprenticeship program is, and it all kind of comes together, and I think they get really excited about it.
But we've talked about an apprenticeship. Is it necessary for you to go be involved or engaged in an apprenticeship program to work in the trades? No. It's not essential. It's not absolutely necessary. However, to be certified, a certification is attached to an apprenticeship. You know, you come out of an apprenticeship with what, a journeyman?
Yeah, journeyman plumber certification, which you can carry anywhere in the United States.
Yep, that certification just validates your training, and it gives you more assurance of a job. But don't forget, you don't have to have that for a successful plumbing career. Am I right or wrong?
That's true.
You know, same thing with electrical, same thing with HVAC. You know, you don't have to go online and fill out a resume to apply for a job at Precision Plumbing. You could go in and talk to the receptionist, and they're going to hook you up with the HR person, and you may, am I right or wrong?
They fill out an application and assessment if they come in the office.
Right.
And then I review everything and reach out to them.
There you go. See, a lot of people, well, in our education system, they teach you about resumes, right? And you're programmed that you got to write a resume, and you got to do it right. You got to have all the dots and the boxes checked, and all of that's a fallacy. You can do it, but you just are another piece of paper in the system. But if you show up with passion, tell me what you look for.
I look for someone who's passionate about what they want to do. I mean, especially for their apprentices, they don't need prior experience to go into the trades.
See? This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Absolute no-brainer. What would you advise any youth out there to do?
If they wanted to get into an apprenticeship program?
Yeah.
I would say educate yourself online. I mean, there's plenty of things on Google that they could look up. Look up some companies that have apprenticeship programs. If you go on the Apprenticeship NC website, that lists every single company that has an apprenticeship program. and then do your research, figure out what they do, and then what trade you want to go into. But I think what we're doing with Put Tools in Schools is showing them a glimpse of what a particular trade looks like, so they have an idea of which path they want to pursue when the time comes.
It's guaranteed employment in the
Yeah.
trades.
Yep.
I mean, once you get, and here's one thing. Then I got to take a break here. Take care of some bills. But you can jump ship if you become a great plumber, and you says, well, I like that electrical side, because you work in the industry right beside the electricians, right beside the HVAC guys. Maybe welding's in the building you're working in. Well, you have an opportunity to say, well, just like you quit teaching in the trades, you can jump ship and go to another trade. They're tools. You're guaranteed. It's endless what the opportunities and the money you can make. How much does a good plumber make? A good
Are you
experience?
talking about what level is my question?
Journeyman.
Journeyman
A good
plumber?
journeyman.
Average would probably be about $28 to $30 an hour.
So $30 an hour, not bad at all. So
I know nurses in California that make less than that.
Oh, and you can be self-employed after many years being a plumber. You can open your own business, so you got that. It's a great career pathway, the trades. So, all right, let me talk about some people here. ABS Insulating. It's commercial time. Yeah. ABS Insulating, great, originally family-owned company here in the Indian Trail area. And later they sold out to a larger corporate entity, but they do a great job. They've continued to have the same staff, same great customer service, great knowledge around it. And ABS Insulating will service your job no matter what it is, new house, multifamily, construction. It doesn't matter. They'll go where the work takes you. But it's a great company, do great work, and they know their industry very well. And let's not forget about the gutter division, gutters. If you got gutter issues, give ABS Insulating a call. They'll come out and assess your situation. Downspouts. I talk about downspouts a lot because most houses in residential construction have small, little bitty downspouts. Well, if you've got regular gutters, put jumbo downspouts on them. You'll be amazed at the difference, and that's ABS Insulating. Go online, check them out, absinsulation.com. And moving along here to Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Every house got floors in it, be it carpet, be it LVP, LVT, new stuff. And now I hear laminates come back on board strong in the marketplace. New technology behind laminate flooring. When it came out, it got a bad rap because it was a bad rap. But things have changed. The new laminate flooring, regardless of what you might want, be it commercial, be it residential, be it carpet, be it ceramic tile, you want to get those stairways redone, the treads on them, natural wood, you want oak floor, be it sanded, be it engineered, doesn't matter. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Go online, yourflooringteam.com. Check them out. They'll bring the showroom to you with all the samples. They make it easy. Give them a call. Look them up. Google them. Find out, do the research. Great company. Great service. 5-star reviews with Google. Give them a call. Go online, yourflooringteam.com. And let's not forget about our premier sponsor, Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store just exploded this year with new stores throughout North and South Carolina, furnishing your home with appliances, furniture, bedding, decorations, decor, you name it, and got great interior decorators and people that help you out and do it right the way you want it done. That's queencityonline.com, and you can do shopping online. Ask questions. They've got a chat room in there. They got you covered. That's queencityonline.com. Been here since 1952. Family-owned business. 3 generations in that business. Queen City Home Store. Give them a call, 704-391-6000 or online, queencityonline.com. Welcome back. We're talking to Precision Plumbing, but now we have Bryce Owusu. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
I did it right. Wow. And Well, hey, push the button. Push the button. The bottom.
Oh, yeah,
The bottom. No, we got to give our listeners a
Which
sample.
one is it? Because there's GHIDEF.
The bottom left-hand button. What you hear? Clapping, right? See, we're learning our system, folks.
There we go. There we go.
Now you just made a mistake. Push the second one, next one to it. Wah, wah, wah. Right? Pretty neat stuff.
I should have hit that one when you called him a woohoo.
That's right. Well, see, you got it. So anyway, I got Bryce. Bryce, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bryce,
What do you do? Get close. to the mic.
I do real estate marketing. Basically a one-stop shop for listings, photos, video, Matterport tours, aerial photography, videography, floor plans, anything to market a home.
I met Bryce through NARI. We talk about networking all the time in this industry. You go to this event, you go to that event. Well, I met Bryce as a connection with NARI. You do work for NARI at special events like the golf tournaments and that sort of thing.
We
right?
also do some event coverage as well. So that's how I'm connected with NARI.
Where are you
events.
from?
Originally Northern Virginia, Sterling. It's about 20, 30 minutes outside of D.C., depending on traffic. With no traffic, it's about 30 minutes.
How long you been in Charlotte?
I've been in Charlotte since beginning of 2021.
Oh,
So
you're
right after, towards the tail end of COVID.
I hear COVID a lot,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah.
COVID. When COVID happened, it blew the world up. It literally changed the dynamics of the way we've lived and are living now. It still lingers on. Amazing, isn't it? And it was all. Well, I won't go there. I'll just cool it right there, because I don't have a really high opinion of what happened. And I'll get cranked up and going. You don't want that. Well, Bryce, welcome. Bryce came over to the studio. Now, do you see potential in this studio for the real estate market? in Charlotte?
Absolutely. I think this is a great place to, brand yourself. Put out your brand whatever that may be.
Whatever the brand is, we got it.
Exactly.
Now, how do you help real estate companies? You said you're marketing. Is that what?
Yep. Yeah. So we try to, make the houses look bigger than they actually are, make them shine in their best light. And also, we also help agents promote their brand as well. So, a lot of top agents don't just sell homes, but they're also marketing their brand in their listing as well. So we help agents do that.
Real estate. You're not in. Are you in touch with the market of Charlotte any, or you just deal with the real estate people?
A little bit. I know the market a little bit.
Well, do me a favor. Put me in touch with a couple realtors, so we can, bring them into the focus.
Absolutely.
Because after all, you got to buy a house to fix a house, a money pit. Because if you own your house, Marianne,
I do.
there's always something to do in there.
Yeah. Once you fix something, you're like, what's the next thing
Never
that's going to be
stop.
fixed?
Yeah.
Never stops. You own a house?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, cool. How old are you, Bryce?
35.
See, I got one of my missions this year, or actually started last year, was to find young people. And today I have 30-year-olds. That's young people, considering that I'm 74. So, and it's working. The youth, and I call y'all youth, I'm sorry, y'all are kids to me. But you're good kids. So you're behaved, and you're doing very well today, too. No, but I'll tell you something that it's just endless, the opportunities in the trades, and, talking about real estate, housing, and everything. That, to me, is another area that needs more marketing, education, because people think when they sell a house, they've got to make it perfect. Not true. Not true. And the sellers, and I know you may not delve into it that deep. I was just in a house last week. No, 2 weeks ago, me and Kevin fixing a ceiling. They're going to sell this summer. They're going to sell their house because they're empty nesters and they're retired and they want to downsize. Well, in Charlotte, good luck. But it's not a very easy task to find. If you sell a piece of property in Charlotte, you can't turn around and you might make $100,000 on the house, but then you turn it around in today's market, you can't find anything that you need or want or desire around the price you got. So it's a tough market.
Yeah.
But have you seen, y'all probably don't know, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. There's an 8,000 square foot house over in Plaza Midwood. It's over in the Central Avenue Plaza intersection. I don't know if you know where that's at. 8,000 square feet. It was built, manufactured housing. It was a modular home. Brought in there, and they assembled that house in 2 days.
You said it's right on the plaza?
It's in Plaza Midwood area over, it's near Commonwealth, where the plaza dead ends to Commonwealth.
Okay.
Over there. It's right beside, the house is literally beside 277, the freeway.
Yeah, I used to live in that area. That's why I used to live right off of Central, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's an amazing house. Why I bring that up? Because I saw it. It's pretty. It's neat. For Charlotte, it's like it is a mansion over in Plaza Mid. 8,000 square feet. I saw YouTube on it. Matter of fact, you can YouTube it and just put house built, 8,000 square foot house built, Plaza Midwood. It'll come up. And it's amazing. But anyway, back to the real estate market. I would like to stay current on the housing market in Charlotte. And I do. I've had home inspectors. I will have more home inspectors come on the show because they're really cued into the real estate market. But, going back to what I said earlier, if you're going to sell a house, think about it. It's nice to make it sellable and prettier. But why didn't you do that while you live there? A lot of people will live in the house and all of a sudden they want to sell it. So as I alluded to earlier, we were in a house last week they're going to sell. And she was trying to make everything perfect. I said, you can't. There is no such thing. Clean it up, make it pretty, as clean as you can. But it's a great, excuse me, somebody interrupted me on the phone here. I apologize. Technology is very invasive. We could cut it all off, but then we wouldn't be in touch with you, would we? But she wanted to make everything perfect, and I told her you don't have to. Matter of fact, if you maintain that house like Marianne, you got a house, probably needs painting, probably needs some exterior work done to it. Now, I say these things and people say, well, how do you know all that? Because I've been in the industry 50 years, 56 now, 56 years. There's always stuff to do, right?
Yep.
No matter whether it's a new home or an old home, they're going to buy what they like. And just because you've got a brand new bathroom, now they may go into the living room and hate the way it's laid out. So the bathroom doesn't mean that much. And believe it or not, the house I referred to a couple of weeks ago we were in, whoever buys that house is going to come in and redo the kitchen. They're going to redo the bathrooms in time. And that's a given. So why would you go in there and upfit it, go through the stress of doing all that work just to sell your house? Because it is stressful. But that's the way the market is in Charlotte. And then these realtors, see, sounds like I'm criticizing realtors. They want their commission check, right? They want to sell that house. So they're going to come in and tell you need to do this, you need to do that. Then you take a lot of pictures of staging too, don't you?
Absolutely.
I bet you do.
Yeah, those are my favorite homes.
You do a lot of staging pictures.
Yeah.
Yep. See what I mean? Nowadays in certain areas of Charlotte, you got to stage your house, right?
Yeah.
Not all areas of Charlotte you need to stage it, but but really, do you really need to stage it?
I have a realtor who I was supposed to shoot with him this week on Monday, but he wanted his clients to get rid of all their furniture and get it staged, so they ended up pushing it back a couple weeks. So, yeah, there's a lot of agents that they really push their clients to get rid of their furniture and stage the home.
And there's a whole career pathway right there. What do you do? I stage homes.
Yeah.
What are you staging for? To sell them.
It's a lot of money, too. A lot of money to stage a home.
I know. That's another thing. Remodeling, just stage it. I never saw the value in that. I know you're going to sell your property.
Yeah.
And I know it's pretty. And I know you enhance it.
Yeah.
But the process, wow. got an empty. You said they emptied the whole house.
Oh, yeah, the whole house. I mean, they wanted to be on the market this week, but obviously it takes a lot to move all your furniture out, get a bunch of furniture in. So they ended up, pushing back a couple weeks.
That's awesome. Well, do me a favor. Go out there and find us some real estate people
Easy.
for the podcast studio.
Done deal.
Because we want to be about your house. And a lot of people might question the fact that I dwell on this labor shortage, put tools in schools. Mary Ann, you can understand why, can't you?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
It's an image problem, but also people don't know what the industry does in general.
What from your vantage point now, and you've done a great job with put tools in schools. I commend you tremendously, and I thank you because you've relieved me a lot of headaches, and I don't call them headaches. It's just the job around it. Mm-hmm. But what's your point of view on what we need to do as far as industry goes? You've been involved with the Precision Plumbing, McGee Brothers Masonry are a constant support of put tools in schools. Not near enough. When we go into the school, think about this. If you're into a school and you're going to see anywhere from 400 to 1,200 kids, it needs to be an event. Mm-hmm. It needs to be, I call it a circus event, where kids get in that gym or media center or wherever we're set up, and they engage themselves in some hands-on activity around particular trades. I go in there and just put a table up with tools on the table. Believe it or not, that attracts students, just the tools on the table. Why? Because they never get to see tools. Mary Ann, tell them what y'all do.
We teach them how to solder pipe. And so open flame, once that starts going, some of them are scared at first, but as soon as one kid starts the line, it's like a horde of children show up around them, and our station's filled pretty much the rest of the time from there on.
Now, if you could take 7 to 15 companies, various trades, electrical, plumbing, heating, cooling, welding, bring a welding simulator, because kids need to know all these trades and what's out there as far as career pathways, because we've got an image problem.
Yeah.
And that image problem, there's no way to do. Well, you got any ideas on how we can improve the image? And
I mean, there's a couple of different ways. One is getting connected with schools, going into classrooms, being part of trades career fairs, and telling them what you do. But the other part of it is marketing. I feel like, especially in commercial construction, because we're not trying to win service work. We bid our work and win it. So it's easy for us to just not showcase what we do day to day. But I think it's imperative that we do share it so that people know, what does commercial plumbing look like? Because otherwise, they just assume we're just unclogging toilets every day, even though we're not a service plumber.
remember, they do not call Precision Plumbing for your residential needs, because they don't do that. But what they do, if you've been in a hospital lately or a high-rise building downtown,
Yeah.
but y'all specialize in...
We do specialize in hospitals, and we're starting to do a lot of data center work in the coming months. But hospitals, I would say, is our specialty.
And some of these plumbers that work for Precision Plumbing never unclogged toilets, never changed out an old toilet to a new toilet. They've all installed new toilets. Not to say they can't, but they don't go into the dirty aspect of the industry.
Yeah. We do have an upfit remodel division, and that's typically where we put our apprentices, because they don't have all that prefabricated plumbing to put in the building. They're actually learning hands-on plumbing with a plumber, and the crews are smaller there.
I think the best way to learn plumbing, or any trade for that matter, is service.
Yeah.
Service work, because that's troubleshooting, and repair and replace, R&R, remove and replace.
Yeah.
And correction,
Yeah.
And that's in y'all's. You've got a commercial service division that you do have service to your clientele.
So it's
Somewhat after the fact.
somewhat, yeah. I would say it is bid work, just like our large construction side, but it is smaller. It is replacing old and putting in the new. It's reworking sometimes like an entire area to add maybe 2 showers to an office building because they decided to add a gym in there. So it could be anything. I mean, we do a lot of banks downtown as well for the commercial service side of things. So we're a lot of repurposing of buildings.
And females, talk about your female employees.
So we have several in the field. So we have 5 apprentice plumber employees in the
You
field.
do now?
We do.
You didn't
Yeah.
have that 2 years ago?
No, we didn't. Yeah, 5 in the field working full time, and they love what they do. We actually have one in our level 2 group, who I'm pretty sure she'll be a foreman by the time she's done with the.
Level
Quarter
2, what's
program.
level 2?
So our program's 4 years for
Okay.
them to get their journeyman certification. Now, I will say this too, just for anybody to know about North Carolina's licensure for plumbing.
Sure.
It only requires 2 years of experience to go for your North Carolina plumbing license, which our level 2 apprentices, some of them are already going to start trying to apply for that license after this year is complete.
So level 2 is 2 years.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And after 2 years, you could literally go get your plumber's license.
Yes.
You're self-employed.
Yep. And it's not a requirement, but they just want to see, I think, that they can get it.
Well, it's not a requirement, or it is?
Not for the North Carolina license, no.
Well, I know that being an electrician, you got to have 4 years experience in the field.
Yep. It's different for plumbers, and I
Right.
think in some ways that was to the detriment of plumbers because the
agree.
standards are lower.
And, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but a contractor's license, a residential contractor's license, you don't have to have any in-field experience. None. You can go to a class at CPCC or a privately held class, you know, with an instructor, paid instructor, and you can take a course on how to pass the contractor's licensing test.
And they have that for plumbing too. Yeah.
So, but this contractor's licensing kind of is concerning to me because there's no experience required, just a set amount of money in the bank. I think it's 3 or 4 recommendations by GC, another general contractor, and you got to pass the test.
Yeah. You do have to have experience at least to take your plumbing exam.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Mm-hmm. See, but general contractors who hire the trades, they're not required any in-field experience.
And I think that affects the relationship with the general contractor and the trades in general.
Thank you for
too.
saying that.
Yeah.
Vastly it affects it, but yet why do we not require for licensing more in-field experience? I just don't understand that for the life of me.
I think some of the best superintendents who are in the general contractor field worked in a trade
Yep.
before.
Yep. Coming up through the years, I can't use me as an example, but you know, you can go into plumbing. Have you what's the turnover for y'all?
It's very low. I mean, for the construction industry as a whole, I think it's between 33 and 50% turnover, which is really high.
Yes.
For us, it's like 15%.
And you know why that is, folks? It's because employers aren't taking care of their employees.
Yeah.
That's your number one reason for turnover. You know, it's not all dealing with the amount of pay you get. It's a lot of management and just the way they treat you.
Yeah.
And Precision Plumbing is a great, great company to work for.
Yep.
And they set an example. They exemplify what professional plumbers should be. Not that all of them aren't. I don't know that many plumbers personally. I knew a lot more at one time, but like we said earlier, the average age of a plumber is what, 58, something like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has to be in the 50s within the next 5 years, or even close to 60.
Yeah, we're
I would
losing
say.
plumbers every year due to retirement and what have you. So, yeah. And real estate is an afterthought, meaning a lot of people will get into real estate later in life as agents and say, well, I can go sell houses.
Yeah.
I've known more of those than I have people that's very few times, and I have heard it from him last week. I asked a young lady, what are you going to do when you get out of high school? And she said, I'm going to sell real estate. I'll bet you money your mom or dad's in real estate. What you think?
Oh, her parent?
Yeah, her parent
Yeah,
probably would
probably,
be.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So, yeah. So, great career pathway, though.
For sure.
in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, Bryce, what's your plans?
For
Career. Where are you going? What you going to do?
keep growing the business down here, because when I moved down here, we didn't have any business down here. So I came and founded Charlotte. It was just me until 7 or 8 months ago, and now I have a team of photographers.
How many you got?
We have 5 in the Charlotte area now.
Photography, predominantly. Videography in that as well?
Yep, photo and video.
Photo and video.
Yep.
There's an industry that's changed enormously in the past 20 years with technology.
For sure. Sure.
So can you do video work for hire?
Oh, absolutely.
What's the name of your firm?
Oh, it's everything's through HD Bros.
What is it though? Tell me. HD Bros, right?
HD Bros, correct.
How do they get in touch?
HDBros.com.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
And y'all go online. I haven't checked your website out, so I'm slow today. But I'd be interested in learning more. And I know I got you here because of the podcast studio.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't know where we were going with this stuff. And this is another example of how technology really has changed industry, in the outreach. And hopefully we can keep it up. But our major purpose here at the Toolbox is to put kids, kids of all ages up. I don't care how old you are, you're never too old to learn. What's the oldest plumber you got? Do you know?
Oh, the oldest?
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have one who's retired 3 times and come back, and I think he's close to 80. So I think he's 78. Yeah. He's in our prefab shop.
Really?
Brazen pipe. Yep.
What's his first name?
David.
I thought it must have been David. He came back to work again.
Did.
He had a heart attack last year, didn't he?
I think so. Well, that or his son, because his son worked for Precision for a long, long time, too.
Okay, could be.
Yeah.
Well, I know David. He's a friend of Jeff Knight's.
Yes, he's brazen pipe at the prefab shop again.
See, retirement isn't necessarily the way to go. You got to have purpose. I've met so many people that retire and said, I can't do this. I can't do this. So anyway. Well, let's take a break here and talk about Rhino Lift, Foundation Solutions. Folks, here lately, we talk about industry expanding and blowing up. There's one field right there that has gone crazy, and that's foundation repair, water intrusion, concrete lifting, crawl space encapsulation. You name it, they can take care of it as long as it's dealing with the structure and foundation of your house, no matter what it is. But if you're not sure of what you need, give them a call. They'll come out there free of charge and evaluate your situation and give you answers, give you solutions, and talk about what you can and if you don't need anything, they'll walk away and say you're fine. But just keep an eye on it, check it out. When you see a foundation, when a crack in a brickwork, for example, when you see a crack, that doesn't necessarily throw out the red flag and the alarms. It shows there's some movement, but if it doesn't open up and separate itself, maybe it doesn't need the attention currently. So just because there's a crack there doesn't mean you have to spend $18,000-$20,000 fixing your house. But they're a straight up transparent company. They'll tell you that. One thing I love about Rhino Lift is they stand behind what they do. You've got a guarantee, a warranty behind everything they do, and they're going to do it right the first time. And they're going to tell you what they're going to do. You have to understand it or they won't do it. So give them a call. Go online, better yet, I can't talk today, rhinoliftfoundations.com, and give them a call. You can do all the appointment setting online, and they'll come out to your house free of charge and see what the situation is, give you a quote, and everything they do. They're a general contractor in both North and South Carolina. They'll permit it. You don't have to worry about being covered. They've got in-house engineers to take care of the situation, get a stamp of approval. Hey, folks, Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions, way to go. Give them a call. Go online, rhinoliftfoundations.com. And let's don't forget our friends at Kilo Exterminating. I say many times, there's nothing like having someone go in your crawl space and giving you an inspection. Well, you know, you can kill two birds with one stone with Kilo, being that Kilo will send out a technician, give you 3 to 5, depending on the size of the house, moisture readings. And what moisture readings do indicate the moisture content in your structure. You need to know that. So that's Kilo Exterminating. Since 1939, 3 generations old. And I got to throw a big shout out to Ralph Kilo, Dr. Kilo, PhD in entomology. And if you don't know what entomology is, it's a study of bugs. He loved it as a kid. I've had an in-depth conversation with Mr. Kilo, an extraordinary man, just like old Charlie Brown. He came up through the ranks and just had a great passion for taking care of people in their homes. That's Kilo Exterminating, kilo.biz. Today, I've had Precision Plumbing in-house today talking about put tools in schools and trades career days and career pathways in the plumbing industry. There's 2 sides to the coin. Well, actually 3 or 4. You got residential service, residential new construction. You've got commercial. You got commercial service, commercial upfit. There's a tremendous pathway in the plumbing industry. Did I leave anything out?
Commercial construction.
Commercial
That's it,
construction.
Yeah, new construction.
Well, that and another thing, the technology, Trimble. Did I say it?
Yeah.
Tell us about what a Trimble does.
So the Trimble system is connected with the coordinates that are already pre-designed by our virtual design construction department in-house.
Technology.
Yep. And we have an 11-person team in our VDC department. Half of them were actually plumbers before they were promoted to that position within our company.
Back up. What'd you just say? What division?
Virtual design construction.
The reason I ask her this question is because technology. With today's kids, you know, and students, technology's been a way of life. You grew up with it. You grew up with it. You grew up with it, Josh. So they grew up with technology. I didn't. I started when I was 40.
And I will say we did start with dial-up, which that was a
what?
Dial-up. I hardly ever used the internet when it was dial-up internet in the beginning, but
I do remember that. Beep, all the noises
I used
came
it for
out
a
of
little
your
bit.
all the noises, the beep beep beep.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, it came on the. You don't remember it, Richton. You know, you was a puppy.
Yeah, I don't remember dial-up. I'm
Yeah.
30, but I don't remember it.
Well, sorry.
I don't remember much anything before the age of 5.
At any rate, this Trimble, with today's technology, all your blueprints on virtual or is in the computer, and it's connected to a
Trimble system.
A Trimble system. Some of them call it BIM.
Yep. Yeah, BIM, I think it's building information modeling. That's also what we call our virtual design construction department. It's the same thing. But they send those coordinates for what's been pre-designed to the Trimble system. And our Trimble operator sets up that station to set whether a pipe will go on a job site. They basically dig where the pipe will go and put in sleeves before concrete is poured.
They do this with a robot.
Yep.
A digital reading robot. And they map out, they plot.
Yep.
They plot where the plumbing is according to the plan, and it's probably 100% correct because it's coming straight out of the plan.
As long as the Trimble operator has set up the system correctly and the designs are correct, yes, it should be very
How many Trimble operators do you have?
Right now we have 6.
3 years ago, you didn't have but 2.
Yeah, we had 8 at one time, and we're going to probably be bringing on some more in the coming months, I would say.
Now, and you would hire that person too, would you?
Yep, and that's an entry-level position. It takes about 4 to 8 weeks to train a Trimble operator on the job site. They don't have to go any classes in the building. They work with our lead Trimble operator.
See, now that's a plumbing career pathway that you're not going to change a toilet, you're not going to unclog a toilet, you're not going to be out in the field changing out fixtures.
Yep.
You'll be using technology to lay out and plot locations of fixtures. Now tell us about the prefab.
Prefab shop is also connected with the virtual design construction department. So for those larger job sites where we have a lot of pipe coming out or fixtures and fittings coming out, they just pre-plan and send out what's called a spool sheet. And a spool sheet's basically just a zoomed in section of pipe and fittings and hangers and everything that just need to be pre-measured, pre-cut, pre-assembled, and designed in the prefab shop.
Gotcha. And that's where a lot of people go to work too, starting.
Yep, that's an entry-level position too, and they train them in the prefab shop.
So you get to go up in a building every day. You show up the same building, you walk in there, and you've got, they call them spools.
Yep.
Spools are part of a job. In other words, you can put a bathroom together in components.
Yep.
And then they put these big components. They do all the work in the prefab shop, and they take these components it's like a car, an automobile. They prefab, the engine's built. They load the engine in a crate. They take it to the job, and they put that engine right where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Same thing in the plumbing prefab shop. They build spools, is what y'all call them.
We prefab anything in the wall for water fountains, wall-hung toilets. We're starting to prefab some cast iron pipe and floors. We just basically try and figure out new ways to prefab water heaters, and put the copper pipe on it as well already, so it can just.
So y'all do as much in that prefab shop as you can.
Yes.
To minimize the infield experience or labor.
And to minimize waste. There's a lot less waste if we already have it measured and cut in the prefab shop. We have some automated systems there where if you put a 20-foot piece of copper and you say, I need these length pieces from this, it finds the most efficient ways to cut it. And then there's a minimal amount of waste left at the end. It eliminates human error.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember going in the prefab shop about 3 years ago, and a female was in there, and I got to talk to her because I always love talking to women anyway, especially in the trades, because you want to find out their experience. Are they happy? Man, I've never seen a female loved her job any more than she did.
Yeah.
She loved what she did, and she says, I'm going to be a plumber. I says, really, when? She says, just as soon as I can. She said, I want to open my own business one day. And I said, that's awesome. And that's a female plumber. And how many of those do we have?
In our company, 6 right now.
You got 6.
Yeah.
Well, you don't hear of that often.
No.
You
I mean, we have a lot of people in office too.
Oh, you got a lot of
Yeah.
females in the office.
Yeah.
What do they do? I go
So-
in there, there's people all over that room.
There is, yeah. We have females who are project assistants, project engineers, project managers. We have one woman who works in our virtual design construction department, and of course in accounting and HR as well.
I've been asked, as we're focusing on ladies right now, plumbers, I've been asked to be on a board to be interview or be interviewed, I don't know what, on how we can get more women in the trades.
Yeah.
How can we do that?
I think the first thing is changing the image of what it looks like to work in the field full time. I think a lot of times women are not even introduced that as an option for what they do, because there's a lot of stigma around who does the type of work that we do or any trade does. That's
Right.
the first thing. But the second thing is seeing if there is a way to get it in their mindset prior to them starting their families. And,
Put toes in school.
yeah.
Trades career days.
Yep.
Well, I got to wrap it up here. I want to thank
go ahead,
you
yeah.
for coming today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bryce.
Absolutely.
You got any closing words? Call us if you're in real estate.
Yeah. You need a listing. You need a photographer. We're one of the best in the business.
hdbros.com, right?
Yes, sir.
So next week we'll have CDA Environmental in the house, Devin Arnett, talking about, well, it seems to be expanding. That's in-home air quality and what that means. So that's next week right here on About Your House every week, 9 to 11 on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app, stream us live. We're also We also broadcast this live every Tuesday morning from 10 till noon, as we did today. Tune in every Tuesday for the live broadcast. Like I said, downloaded and played again on Fox Sports Charlotte from 9 to 11 every Saturday morning. So go make it a great week. We got a good lineup. We're also going to put an addition on the events page to the podcast on a weekly basis, and the guests you can look forward to seeing. So go make it a great week. Spread the love. Love your neighbor.